Hello, welcome to FlixWater YouTube channel. Today, I want to share some useful insights and lessons on how to handle water softener salt. You see, water softener salt usually comes in large, hard pellets or chunks that can be a bit challenging to break down by hand. However, there are a few methods you can use to crush your water softener salt easily, but before we dive into that, let's discuss when you might need to crush your salt. Generally, when you buy water softener salt, you don't need to break up the pellets or blocks it comes in. However, if you store the salt incorrectly or encounter issues like salt bridging in your tank, you might need to crush the salt into finer pieces. Also, if you plan on using the salt for other applications that require finer salt, these methods will come in handy. Now, let's explore some effective ways to crush your water softener salt. One straightforward method is using a cutting board and a mallet. Simply place the salt on the cutting board and pound it with the mallet. This should break it into smaller chunks and even a fine powder. To avoid any salt flying around, cover it with a cloth or use plastic bags if you have access to an industrial strength blender that can also work wonders in breaking up the salt. Just make sure the blender is capable of handling the salt's hardness without damaging its blades. It's a good idea to test it with a small piece of salt before using it extensively. You can also utilize kitchen appliances like food processors, meat grinders, or coffee grinders to crush your water softener salt. However, be cautious about cross-contamination if you use the same appliance for grinding other substances. Another method, although not technically crushing, is to dissolve the salt in water to create a concentrated solution. This can be an efficient alternative if you want to avoid direct handling of the salt. Simply dissolve the salt pellets in hot or warm water, stirring until they stop dissolving. Once the solution cools down, you can use it in your water softener. Now that you know various ways to crush your water softener salt, let's discuss some tips to ensure safety while handling salt. Always wear safety glasses or goggles to protect your eyes from debris. Avoid ingesting salt and consider wearing gloves to protect your skin. Safety should be a priority throughout the process. Lastly, I'd like to share some tips to help you avoid the need to crush water softener salt altogether. Proper storage is key, so make sure to store your salt in a cool, dry place, away from heat, humidity, and freezing temperatures. Using high-quality salt can also prevent clumping issues, so opt for reputable brands. Additionally, avoid overfilling the brine tank to prevent salt bridging. Remember, crushing water softener salt may be an occasional necessity, but with these methods and preventive measures, you can minimize the need for it. By understanding the purpose of salt in a water softener and implementing proper storage practices, you can maintain your water softener effectively. I hope you found these tips valuable and helpful. If you have any more questions or need further guidance, feel free to ask. Take care and best of luck with your water softener. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel for next topics or click to see the next videos on the right.